Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Your host is here for the show tonight to end our special guest show highlight. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm Alan, and today we're going to have a fantastic show for you. We have something unique and special. The great thing is, not only are we going to give you outstanding coverage on UFL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and boxing, we're going to give you, towards the end of the show, guess what? We're going to bring you into the Renegades versus Battlehawks press conference live here on the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to get the reactions to the game and a lot more. It is 9-0 Battlehawks at halftime. We're going to hear from both sides, the Renegades and Battlehawks, regardless of how this game plays itself out. Here on the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, you'll get a chance to see how it goes here in the press conference, live and in charge. So we're going to bring that to you in just a bit. That's going to be during our normally scheduled show right here on the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. We don't clout chase here at this show. This is our normal show time, and we're just going to go ahead and just bring you right into the press conference. So before we do that, we're going to go ahead and thank one of our outstanding sponsors here on the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, and that is none other than Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to get some delicious, outstanding sauce from Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. This sauce is fantastic. Not only does it taste wonderful, one of the flavors, the bourbon flavor, is made with Dunamis bourbon right there. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to get this beautiful, delicious, succulent sauce right there. And that's it. You can go ahead and take advantage of it and get yourself a 4-pack at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. If you can't come down to Tampa, go ahead and visit flbbqsauce.com, flbbqsauce.com. Don't forget to let us know how you thought about this great sauce, that bourbon. It's made with Dunamis bourbon. That's right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play one of Sam Scola's songs, the Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song. Let's go.
Comes in for variety, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. A natural flavor, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Florida Gold Honey Mustard on burgers and ribs. Tasty fusion on pork and sausage. Classic classic taste for chicken and steak tips. A hot heat wave on meatballs and ham. It's a cookout treat. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce.
Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to get this great sauce right there, 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, it's quite all right. You can go ahead and grate that great sauce at flbbqsauce.com, flbbqsauce.com. It is fantastic. Chef G's is a vet. Why not support one who supported our country? Let's go. Thank you, Chef G's, for being one of our outstanding sponsors here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. You're fantastic. Really appreciate you. So, yes, there's going to be a great show we're going to give you. You know, I'm watching the game right now. If you're just joining us, the Arlington Renegades are down. The Battlehawks are winning 9-0. And I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the game, and then we're going to shift into the NFL draft. I would say the Arlington Renegades, it's one of those things that you kind of see the same things happening. You know, they're struggling a bit on the run game. I've talked about that, you know, with Coach Stoops. They're struggling a little bit on the run game, and it's making it tough on second and third downs. Battlehawks have been doing a great job of getting the pressure, but I just really hope that Arlington gets something. I've noticed, though, something that has really kind of separated some of the games that they have been close for Arlington, and that is the quarterback making a running play that's now becoming the situation that dictates the game. Max Duggan made a really nice play where he scrambled down the field, got about 40, 45 yards, almost scored a touchdown. And to me, right there, that's pretty much been the game. That play and Butler catching that touchdown have been pretty much the plays of the game. Reason why I bring this up is because if you look at the last game they lost against the DC Defenders, Jordan Tiamo said he felt like the game was going to come down to him making a play with his legs. And that's exactly what happened. So, you know, and another thing is when they lost to the Birmingham Stallions, the quarterback made, you know, scrambled out of the pocket, made a great play. And that's one of the things. And it's one of those things where it's coming down to that. It's coming down to that, where that play that the quarterback makes, you know, that play that kind of separates the game. That's how it's been going. And I know that quarterback Luis Perez, has been working on his scrambling, but some of these Jordan Tiamo and as well as Max Duggan, that's part of their game already. And that play, along with Butler, have been the difference in this game. That's really how it's been. I have to give credit to Jaden Price. He's being outsized right now by Butler. He's broken up a lot of plays, but with all great players, if you keep going to them, they're great players for a reason. They're going to make you pay. And that's what ended up happening so far in this game. They kept going to that mismatch where you can't teach size, unfortunately. Can't teach height. And they kept going to Butler, and eventually Jaden Price did a fantastic job, but unfortunately, he can only do but so much. Another thing I've noticed that has affected the Arlington Renegades has been the crowd noise. Arlington Renegades leading into this game have been doing very good. They started off really poorly with the pre-snap penalties, corrected those mistakes, and now they're kind of sliding back, particularly in this game, of making pre-snap penalties. And those penalties hurt you. Those pre-snap penalties. The coach talked about it. Game's not over. It's definitely not over. It's halftime, 9-0, Battlehawks. But if the Arlington Renegades are going to make something happen, they got to do something in the second half. This is a big game because this is playing for second place. And if they don't get it done, I'm talking about the Arlington Renegades, it's not going to be a good thing for them. So what we're going to do now is come back to this game. I'll keep you guys updated on it. But I'm going to talk some, I guess it would be NFL news now. It's not college news anymore. I'm going to talk about Shedeur Sanders and that drop to the 5th round. Let me just say first and foremost, I've spoken to Daniel Jeremiah twice leading into this draft, about a month or so before and a week or so before. Neither time did he have Shedeur Sanders lower than being the 13th pick. And he had Shedeur Sanders coincidentally being like number 5 or 6. Then he slid him back to 13. That was kind of like the combine time. Also, that was around the time that it wasn't for sure he was going to go to the Browns. But even with him not playing participating in combine, which I said here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk show was a mistake. Another thing that I really didn't agree with was kind of picking and choosing what team you want to go to, a la Eli Manning. I'm part of the black and brown community, and I just know that rules are different when you are a confident black and brown figure and you're trying to call those shots. Unless you are stellar, you're an outstanding prospect where it's can't miss, and they'll put up with the drama, they'll put up with the headaches because the talent level is that stellar. If you're not at that level, you're usually going to have difficulties. So I kind of knew that this was not going to be as smooth as they thought on their side. I also felt, like I said on this show, that going to the combine was not the best to move. I felt the only 3 players that I felt was excluded from going to the combine was Cam Ward. We all knew he was going to be the first round pick. He did not have to go and work at the combine. Worst case scenario, he was going to be the number 2 pick. And at that point, it's no risk of you going to a combine working out because you could get injured. I personally have been to a workout, an open tryout for the UFL, and somebody had a really poor, really bad knee injury, where so much to the so where EMS had to come there and get him carted off. That's the truth that happened. I didn't try to publicize that, but yeah, you can get injured, and I know extreme case, but there was no sense Cam Ward was excluded as far as I'm concerned. Travis Hunter was excluded, and that's really because he was going to be a high draft pick. He already won the Heisman. And Abdul Carter. Those 3 gentlemen, if your name wasn't Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, and Travis Hunter, then you needed to be at the combine, point blank. And I felt like that was a mistake. So that was one huge mistake. And based on what Shedeur has said is that he was sandbagging some of those interviews. Those interviews, we did see the interview he did at the combine. He didn't actually work at the combine, but he did speak and do interviews at the combine. It did seem, just getting some of the sound bites and clips of it, it did seem like it came off on the cocky side. And not to say that he shouldn't be confident, but it was a little bit much. And I just felt like those components were not gonna be things that were gonna be to the betterment. Even saying that, I still felt like the worst case scenario coming into draft, Shedeur Sanders was gonna be maybe 15th pick in the first round. When he did not get picked in the first round and it went past like the 20-something pick, I kind of knew that the better teams were coming at the end. Not so much just that they were better teams, but those teams really did not have a need for a quarterback. So I kind of knew when he got to around the 22nd pick that he was not going to be taken in the first round. It was pretty clear. I thought the second round, though, he was going to probably get picked within the first 5 picks. When he was not picked in like the first 8 or 9, I said he's not going to get picked in the second round. And, you know, unfortunately, this was a historic fall from being drafted. Nobody had Shedeur Sanders going in the 3rd round, 2nd round, nobody. And definitely not in the 5th round. But I just think that this has a lot to do with what I was telling you guys. May I please have a piece of humble pie? May I please have a piece of humble pie? I said that in the book that's right on my shoulder here. Say your little heart out. There's a chapter in the book, may I please have a piece of humble pie? Being humble pays big dividends. If you don't believe me, look at Cam Ward. Look at what type of contract he got. And I know Shedeur has the NIL money and he has opportunities. And this is a big opportunity for him too. But it'd be a nice opportunity if you had some of that money too to go along with it. Being humble does pay. You know, it may not be the popular choice along a lot of people, but it does pay dividends. And it keeps you out of harm's way, especially when people are going to evaluate you. And, you know, yeah. So as far as a prank call is concerned, I am glad. Let me just say this one more thing is that I am glad that Shedeur Sanders did get drafted. I am very happy he did because it was kind of looking kind of shaky around the 4th round. And when it comes to the NFL, that is a tight-knit business. And they were basically sending a message that, hey, you're not running the show here. We're running the show. No man or woman is bigger than the system. No man or woman is bigger than the system. You might think you're all of that, and you might actually be all of that, but you're still not bigger than the system. And you're still not bigger than the people who are running the organization. And the NFL and the owners, they showed that to be true again and again. This is how it goes in corporate America. Unfortunately, NFL is a business covered with sports, and it's corporate America. You might be all that in a bag of chips, but you're still not bigger than the business. And this was not just a, hey, may I have a piece of humble pie. This was, here's a piece of a whole pie for you. And we're about to close up the store. We're about to close up the shop. You know, we have these 2 or 3 pies left over here. If you want to take them to go, be more than welcome. Take them because we're going to throw them out. So you got the pie that you purchased, and we're going to give you 2 or 3 more to go because they're on the house. We're about to close up the shop. That's how much humble pie that was given on that draft. That was a ton of humble pie. I would come in there hungry, looking to learn, looking at it, hey, I got to prove myself. These people obviously don't think I'm worthy, and I got to go in here and show them that they made a mistake. That's what you got to do if you're Shedeur Sanders. Speaking of mistake, I thought that was a colossal mistake on the Falcons. And not only that, I felt the fine was with as far as Ulbrich is concerned, he's lucky he got $100,000 fine. He's lucky. You might say, how are you lucky if you got $100,000 fine? Well, most corporate America businesses, I would say almost everyone that I've ever worked for, everyone I've been associated with, they discuss to nauseam about protecting protecting confidential information. Protecting confidential information. So much so that if confidential information gets, dispersed out there to the general public, it could be up to including termination of your job. Now, I know that Ulbrich has a great reputation. He's been with the NFL for a while, and these things are a case by case basis. But usually, a lot of those cases, you putting either on, you're terminated or you put on final written warning. It is that severe, and it's unfortunate that Shedeur had to deal with that. It's a prank and ha ha ha, but it's really not really that funny in a way when you look at it. Shedeur handled that situation with a lot of class and a lot of maturity, and he's going to need to do a lot more of that when he's now in the NFL. And if he does that, and he's out there hungry with the chip on the shoulder, I think he's going to do just fine. I think he's in the great news is the Browns position. He's in a great position to actually get the starting position. And the reason why is because as much as I love Joe Flacco, he's out there battling and he's grinding. Joe Flacco typically does not, statistically speaking, does not usually finish the whole season. Usually he'll play some of the season. He'll get injured. So Shedeur will have a chance there. He'll have to beat out maybe one or two guys. I don't have the list here in front of me, but I think that's a winnable job for him. If he comes there hungry, humble, he gets respect to the guys, that's a job that he can actually get. He at least wasn't drafted in a position where he has no shot, even if he really does shine. He's in a position where he actually does have a great position. Because Joe Flacco, Super Bowl champ, but he usually doesn't, at this point in his career, usually does not complete a whole season. Usually those injuries catch up. Quick score update is still 9-0 Battlehawks. And we're at the top of the third quarter. So, yeah. And as far as that's concerned, I'm glad that was one of the most historically watched drafts. And I really can't disagree with that because it had so much of this, it had so much going on. You had somebody who, you had the big room, legendary, and it was legendary, all right. It wasn't legendary the way that I'm sure Shedeur and the company thought, but I still, and most people are still shocked that it went all the way down to the 5th round. I had him first round, worst case scenario, 15th pick. No, I mean, I know Daniel Jeremiah had him at 13. I said worst case scenario he's going to be at 15 in the first round. And yeah, that message is pretty clear. But I'm glad that they did go ahead and find the Falcons. I know it's people saying, "Oh, that's a big fine." Well, it could have easily been somebody getting terminated. And most corporate American jobs, that's what would have happened. I know that for a fact because they talk about it so much. But having a great record, being with the company for a long time, those things play a difference in the outcome of your penalty. So I definitely do think, as an all-pro dad, it was just a pick. He was picked off there. Luis Perez got picked off. Let me just give you a quick update. 9-0. He's shaking his head. He's upset. He throwing out a helmet, man. He hot. He hot being Luis Perez. Let me see here. He didn't really get into the throw. He didn't step into the throw. The ball kind of hung up there. I can't really put that on a receiver. The ball kind of hung up there. You didn't really step into the throw. There's pressure. To me, this is one of those things that happened. You had pressure on Luis Perez. He wasn't able to step into the throw. And because he wasn't able to step into the throw, the defender was able to cut the route and intercept the ball. That's one of the things that happened. And he was trying to get it to Tyler Vaughn's, and Tyler Vaughn's a great receiver. He tried to come back to the ball, but the defender had a step on him, and that's what happens when you're throwing off your back leg and you have pressure on you. You can't step into it, put that extra zip into it. The ball kind of floats a little, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Yeah, I'm not too confident the Arlington Renegades going to pull this game out. I could tell the crowd noise into them. They're getting frustrated. It's still only 9-0, but it just goes to show you in life, if you get so frustrated and bottled up in your emotion, even though the score is still very obtainable, you'll start playing like the game's over. And I'm starting to see this a little bit. I'm starting to see it unravel like that. The game is only 9-0. You're still got plenty of time in the third quarter, and you have the fourth quarter. You have the UFL. You can get a touchdown and 3 points, and you tie the game. You're not mathematically out of anything. The game is still within reach. But if you get really frustrated and you let the frustration overwhelm you, a 9-0 lead can feel like 90-0. And unfortunately, I'm starting to see some of that frustration in some of the Renegades players. So that's why I say if they don't snap out of that, this game is going to be over. Can't do anything well if you're frustrated. This was not on the receiver. You couldn't step into the throw. Let me just see something here, guys. I got to be in this press conference, so I got to make sure I get. Okay, I got some information on it. He thought he was going to turn to the inside. He went to the outside, and also he went a little deep on the route. It was really going to be like a throw to the first down. He went a few yards past that, and result, a pick. So still 9-0. Battlehawks have the ball. Third quarter, 10 minutes plus in the game. There's still a lot of game left. I'm going to keep you posted throughout the whole night. We're going to jump in this press conference at the end of this at the end of this conclusion of this game. We're going to be in the press conference together. We're going to do it together, folks. But yes, I think that was maybe on Vaughn's, but I still think that ball did not have as much zip on it as it needed to. It could have been because of him running the ball, running a couple yards too deep. But it's still not over yet. Still got plenty of time. I'll say this much. I will say this much. Let me just switch this to this. I'll say this much. If the Arlington Renegades are able to come back to the Dome, that means they made it to the championship game. If the Arlington Renegades are able to come back to the Dome, that means they made it to the championship game. That's where we're at, because this is game 6. This is game 6, and the championship game is going to be right where they're playing at. So what the Arlington Renegades need to do, they need to do what other teams that have done to them, particularly the Stallions and the DC Defenders. They need to hang in this game and make a play, get back in it, and try to steal a win, because you still have plenty of time. The Battlehawks are kicking it back to the Arlington Renegades. It's only 9-0. So they're going to have a touchback at the 25. Arlington Renegades is going to take over the ball. Let me just check something here for you guys, too. Let me just do that. Yeah, so it's game's not over yet. It's not over yet. I definitely do think the Arlington Renegades need to snap out of this, stop being so negative, and get back in the hunt. Because to me, you can't give any excuses at this point. You still have a chance to win the game. Let me just check something here. And let me just check something here for you guys. Yeah. And while this is still going on, I did want to talk about something also too. Let me just see here. Okay. So yes, definitely, may I please have a piece of humble pie. You can read that chapter and sell your little heart out. Be humble in life. It'll get you far. Believe me and you. You don't have to beat on your chest if you're great at something. What my may he rest in peace. My late father used to say, if you're really great at something, you don't have to tell people you're great at it. Let them tell other people how great you are in it. Let them brag on you. You don't need to brag on yourself. Humble pie. So let me just go ahead and also talk about. I'm going to give you guys my mid-season review on the Arlington Renegades and the UFL as a whole. Let me talk about the UFL as a whole mid-season. I think the play has been very, very good. I really do. I do think the competition level is great. I think the players on the league are great. I think the coaching has been very good. I can see improvement as the season has gone on all aspects: coaching, guys getting to know each other better, play, everything. I do feel as if people this season need to stop complaining about or criticizing, complaining about the attendance. If you want to do something about the attendance, it's very easy. Watch the games. And if possible, come out to the game and bring a friend. Bring a friend. So the more the merrier. Let them see the play themselves and come out and support the league. Another thing you could do is you could purchase some merchandise and you can show up to events. I'm going to tell you about an event too. It's a nice little screen pass that they did. Got about 14 yards. That was the talking about the Arlington Renegades. And that's a nice thing you can do. It is you can do that. You can control what you can control. Come out to the game. Support. Telling that, hey, the attendance is not good when you're not showing up to the game yourself. I mean, what good does that do? Okay, we all know that the attendance have been down this year. We all know that the viewership has been down this year. Sometimes when people get used to seeing you, sometimes this happens, no matter what you're doing. Just keep continuing to support. I will say this much too. Also, I just feel as if the Battlehawks have been handed every single opportunity to at least be one of the teams that show up and be one of the contenders in the championship game. They pretty much have said it without saying it. They've given the Battlehawks, who should have been in the championship game last year, another opportunity this year. It's very obvious they want the championship game in St. Louis. And to me, it's pretty obvious they want St. Louis to at least be one of the teams that make it to the championship game, if not win it all. So if I'm the Arlington Renegades, I'm doing everything I can to win this game because this is a divisional game. And if the Arlington Renegades play in the dome again, that would mean they made it to the championship game. But I will say that, yeah, Arlington Renegades, the Battlehawk fans have completely dominated the support and fan support of the entire league. Even they blow out when it comes out to the Birmingham Stallions, and the Birmingham Stallions have won it 3 years in a row. And that's just remarkable. There is an event that you have a chance to go to this Saturday. Here's an event, here's an opportunity for you to go ahead and support the league and support somebody who's in the league. Luis Perez, quarterback Luis Perez, who's playing right now, will have a meet and greet this Saturday at Mugs on the Square in Texas. Mugs on the Square in Texas. Just type in Mugs on the Square this Saturday. And it's from 12 to 2. He's the Spring King. You'll get a chance to purchase the book there if you don't have one already, or if you already have a copy, you can bring it and he'll sign it. So either get it there or before, your book will be signed. 12 to 2 this Saturday, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow between 12 to 2. So he'll be back in town in Texas doing the meet and greet. I have a hardcover edition, and I would love to get my book signed. I'm trying to work things out so that I could actually be at the final Arlington Renegades final home game, which is not this Saturday, it's the following Saturday. I'm working on that. I haven't made a commitment just yet. I'm still working out logistics on that. But that's something in the works. And one thing, though, that I will be at, though, that you can count on that. I'm going to give you details on that event that I'll be at tomorrow. But I did want to also say that there's going to be another event I'm going to talk about in a moment. It's 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Arlington Renegades have it around the 40-yard line. Got about 3 or 4 yards on a runner. It's third down. It's a big third down right here. Big third down. So a lot of people have been complaining or criticizing Chuck Long and his offensive plays and play calling. We will get the opinion from the players about Chuck Long, and we will find out if his play calling as far as is suspect. They made the first down. There's a flag on the play, though. Let me just say here, they did get the first down as far as the yardage, but there's a flag on the play. Let me give you guys that flag. Just give me one moment. It's against the Arlington Renegades, face mask. 15-yard penalty on the offense, not the defense. Yeah, it's a face mask. Yeah, the Renegades have been 4 penalties tonight. It's been a little sloppy. It's not terrible 4 penalties, but it's has stagnant as the offense has been. Those penalties are starting to loom large. So it's 3rd and 20 now. 3rd and 20. Third and 20. Nah, he's not going to make it. He got back to the line of scrimmage. We're going to go ahead and bring in a legend. He's legendary, folks. This is a legend. This person is exception to the rule. He can say he's legendary. I'm going to bring him right on now. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm still alive. I thought the biggest legendary to be dead, but I guess I'm a living legend, okay?
So you watching the Battlehawks game?
No, actually, I got on the Warriors game.
You want to give a score update?
Yeah, right now we got the Rockets leading the Warriors 46-40, 2 minutes and change in the second quarter.
Okay. Yep. There you go. Second quarter.
Yes. But hey, my Knicks. Oh, what a game. What a game. What a series. What a victory. What a series. You couldn't get much better than that. That was the first round.
Wow. Yep. Talk about that, about the Knicks advancing in the first
4.4
round.
seconds to go. I mean, it was a very competitive game. The whole series was a competitive game. And for those of you who think, let's see, well, Detroit's got the home advantage. There'll be a short one. Look, you haven't heard me say it in this show. I've said it on my show in the past. Home advantage is a myth. Okay, it is a myth because if it was true with home advantage, they would every game win their home court. So forget it. Throw that out the window right now. Okay, because in the 6-game series, only one game was won on their home court. So don't give me that baloney that the home court advantage exists. It does not. But
in basketball, I think it does.
I don't think so. Because they say the same thing in baseball too. And maybe baseball maybe is a slight advantage, but other than that, no. But anyway, it was very competitive. I mean, the Knicks were up considerably in the fourth quarter, and the Detroit bounced back, and they took a 7-point lead with about 3 minutes to go. But the Knicks didn't give up, and Jalen Brunson, the hero. No wonder he got Clutch Player of the Year in the NBA awards, and that proved it last night. Right there and there.
No, I think definitely in baseball, the home field advantage looms large.
Baseball, yeah, but for the other sports,
yeah, because
it's only a slight advantage in baseball. Only a slight advantage. I wouldn't say it's a big one.
The fact that you get last licks in
yes,
if the visiting team is ahead by a point, having that home field advantage makes a difference. Because I would be a little nervous if you're playing as a visitor and have to close out a game with 1 point lead, 1 run lead.
Yeah. I mean, if it was 11-2, yeah, you're probably done. But if you're in a close game, yeah, that's when the home advantage becomes important.
Yeah, and I think basketball, my view, it does have. Yeah, I mean, that crowd noise.
Yeah, but at the same time, that can be a little bit distracting too.
I mean, Jordan, it don't matter. Michael Jordan didn't
Jordan
matter.
was a rare exception.
So how do you think LeBron did in his series?
Pitiful. Just pitiful. I mean, it's bad that he had suffered a knee injury in the game. Now we can figure out where was he going to do next year. Do I think he's going to be back? Yes. Do I think he's going to play with the Lakers? Well, that I don't know. That's another story altogether.
I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to play. I really do believe with LeBron James, this is what I feel his mindset is like. I feel like if he thinks he could stick around and stick around and stick around and stick around some more, really put these records out of reach, people are going to change their mind and say he's the GOAT. Do you think that's a true foregone conclusion if he does do that?
Well, I mean, he's not the same LeBron as he was, 10, 15 years ago. Let's put it that way. But he's done everything else in the league. I mean, he's won titles. He broke the scoring record and everything else. There isn't really much left to prove. I mean, my thing is, I think he'll be back in the year. I just know he's going to be with the Lakers. That's the thing.
I think he's still going to play with the Lakers. I think they'll give him a deal because he has a lot of leverage with them. And then he has his son who.
Yeah, of course.
So I do think the Lakers will give him a deal. He may have to take a little bit of a pay cut, but I think he'll make a deal. He's definitely going to play. He's definitely going to play. But what I'm saying is this. Regardless of how let's say he does, he's still LeBron. He's still putting up productive numbers.
Yes.
Do you think his mindset is right that if I stick around another year or two, put these records even further out of reach, people are going to change their mind and say, now I'm the GOAT. Do you think that's a foregone, or do you think that mindset is right?
If he wins another title, yes. If he wins one more title. But, because, he's got what, 4?
Jordan?
No, LeBron.
LeBron has 4, yes.
I think if he can win one more, I think he'll be right up there. I mean, he's got a little bit fall short of Jordan, but I think he will be considered one of the greatest of all time if he can win one more title.
I still don't think he might win another title, but I doubt it. I'm giving you my opinion. And if he does win another title, I still don't think I would look at him as being the GOAT. Look how many playoff series and times in the finals have you tanked. He has a losing record in the playoffs.
But he's also managed to come through in those situations too.
I know what you're saying. The biggest turnaround that he did was being down 3-1. 3-1. Yep. Now, granted, he did get helped out a little bit because their defender, who doesn't really score a lot, I forget his name, got suspended for the rest of that series.
Yep.
Now, I still don't think LeBron is, in my view, the GOAT. I still think it's Jordan.
What about the greatest moment of all?
Yeah, I just still think it's Jordan.
No, one particular moment, 2016 in the NBA Finals. I mean, because the Golden State Warriors were a shoo-in to win that year. They were the best regular season record ever, and along comes the Cleveland in Game 6, Game 7 and they beat the Warriors. They beat because they were 73-9 that season, and Cleveland won it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a series where Draymond Green. There he is, Draymond Green.
Of course.
Yes.
Draymond Green wasn't
a win is a win is a win. He came back and won,
yes,
but he did not win with them being at full strength. Draymond Green was was the best defender on their team.
Yeah, Draymond Green wasn't being a dope. Yes.
Yeah, that was a big, huge win for LeBron. Another one that I thought was huge was when he played for the Heat, winning that series too. With that big time 3 in the corner by Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Yeah, that was a big series too. So those 2 wins were huge. And I'll even throw in the Cleveland when he won the first one for Cleveland. This is for you, Cleveland. Right? So I'll give him credit on those. Exactly. But he did lose. He got swept a couple times. He did lose a series that he really should have won. Dirk Nowitzki. He should have won that series. But Dirk, with that fadeaway, they made a statue out of him. He just lit him up.
Dirk looked like a jerk.
Yeah, so I'm not a Jordan fan like that, but it's hard to beat for perfection. My man is 6-0, never played in a Game 7. Perfect. And he was just an assassin. I just think, to me, Jordan gets it. And I'm not saying that LeBron had to win just as many titles as him, but I think he needs to win at least 2 more because his record is 4-9. Yeah. He just got swept in this series. It's getting worse for him in the playoffs, not better.
Yeah, but how much has he got left in him?
I think he needs help with other players. That's what I think. Yeah, I think he's still a very good player, but he needs more help.
Right.
He needs Luka, but he also needs to get 1 or 2, I think, young gunners that can help him. But I tell you who doesn't need help is a guy who's got a show tomorrow. So tell us about your show tomorrow.
Oh, you mean me? Oh, okay. All right. Well, we are going to cover, of course, the NBA and NHL playoffs as they continue. We'll finally get through the first round. Thank goodness. We'll check out some more MLB. Kentucky Derby tomorrow, so I'll take predictions on who you have for favorite for a horse. It's part of the Triple Crown, of course. We'll talk some UFL as well. much less also the start of the WNBA season, even though it's only preseason, so I'll take care of that. And, UFC and WWE news as well. We'll also have our monthly look at the standings and schedule because May is going to be a big month in the sports world. I can tell you that right now. The ridiculous sign of the week. Oh boy, I got one for that one. Sports trivia with my significant other. This week in sports history and the good news story of the week, or we want to call that one. So remember, the number is 512-543-4662. Again, 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 Eastern Time. Don't forget, you can check us out on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportsshow.com. And don't forget to like and share the Facebook page as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like you have a great show. Tomorrow between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. That is Lou. You also can check him out at Lou. You can check out Lou at the Enhanced Sports Show. Enhanced Sports Show on YouTube as well. Let me go ahead and put up his number as well. So you guys make sure you got that number. 512-543-4662. 512.
If you can't get through the first time, try again. Okay?
Yep. Can't get through the first time. Keep trying. Blow up that phone.
Yes.
Keep trying till you get through.
I know what that's like.
Yeah, so again, it's 512-543-4662. 512-543-4662 between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone tomorrow. Yeah. Lou, right there at that phone number, and also the Enhanced Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. He's going to have a great show. Yeah,
because I've done that too. I try to call numbers for sports shows and whatnot. And the lines are busy. Well, just keep trying. So, just keep trying if you don't get through the first time.
Be persistent. Keep trying, folks. Get through.
Persistence pays off, folks. How do you think I got here?
That's right. Keep going grinding. Keep on grinding. That's right. Definitely. I appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, man.
You're welcome, Lou. Always a pleasure. Right. That's the man, legend, legendary, right there. Lou, appreciate you. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Alan.
Take care. That's Lou. Yeah, so man is legendary. Make sure you give him a call. 512-543-4662. 512-543-4662. And in the chat, you guys can let me know if there's a question you want to ask. You want a question asked in the press conference. I'll do my best to get it taken care of for you. Just let me know. And then, yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're going to be in the press conference. This game seemed like it's going on a little long. It's winding down in the third quarter. Still 9-0 Battlehawks. 9-0 Battlehawks. And the Renegades is driving. So the Renegades need to do what the DC Defenders and the Birmingham Stallions have done to them. Hang in there, make a play, and go ahead and try to steal a win. That's what you need to do, because this has not been the best game for the Arlington Renegades. I could tell you right now, penalty-wise, it's been one of the games that they've had more penalties than the other. A lot of that has to do with the fans. That's what happens when you play in the dome. It gets loud in there. It gets real loud when the stadium is packed. It's hard to communicate. I could tell they've had some communication issues. So that's been going on. And on top of that, I just feel as if they've been slacking a little bit. Like I feel like the run game, it hasn't been doing enough to help out the Renegades recently. I know they're trying, but they're just not giving enough space. May have to, change things up a bit. Maybe throw a pass and then run on first down. And you have to change up something, because the run game has really, over the last, I would say, 3 games, the run game has maybe gotten yards that have been over 100 yards maybe throughout those games, but I feel like it's kind of choppy. Yes, you may have gotten 100 yards in a game, but if you get 5 here, 10 here, spreading out and not getting it consistently to that 100. Statistically, it can sound good that you've had over 100 yards, but it hasn't been really the flow of the run game has not been nowhere near as way it's been in the beginning of the season. They got to bleep out Anthony Beck. So it's the start of the fourth quarter right now, 9-0. The Arlington Renegades are driving. So we will see how this plays itself out. We will see. Let me just see here. Try a 46-yard field goal. It's good. So it's 9-3, St. Louis. 9-3, St. Louis. Beginning of the fourth quarter. 14 minutes, 56 seconds. So the Arlington Renegades are on the board. 9-3. Beginning of the fourth quarter. Yeah, it's let's take a look here. Max Duggan. He's got, they're talking about that long delivery. He's got that long windup, kind of like a baseball player. He's got that long windup, Max Duggan. Yeah. So the Arlington Renegades. Uh-oh. Let me just see something here. Let me just see something here. 1 second. And yeah, so let me just take a look here. One second. Let me just see here. Let's see. Yeah, there's some great boxing matches they got going on here tonight too. It's a big time Friday night, and let me just go over the boxing card in a few moments here. It's the top of the fourth quarter. Let's see here. Yeah, top of the fourth quarter. Battlehawks have the ball. I got to say, Max Duggan, with those runs, it's 3rd and 5. They're on the 15-yard line. Their own 15, the Battlehawks. Fumble, ball, fumble. Pick up the ball, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? I got to tell you, man, the Arlington Renegades are just sleeping. Max Duggan had fumbled the ball, and a couple of defenders were just letting the ball just sit there. Let me see what they're going to rule on this one. What are you doing? Yeah. Let me see. 93. Oh. Oh my goodness. He threw it right to the defender, and it should have been a pick. Sloppy football here. Davion Smith got back to about the line of scrimmage. Let me see here what they do in this play. Yeah, incompletion, fourth down. That pressure in the face of Perez is all night long, is what they said. It has been. Red zone. That's right. They can't be. That's another thing. They're having trouble scoring the red zone. Red zone. All right, so it's 9-6. 9-6. The Arlington Renegades get a field goal. Nine to 6. Yeah, so let me go ahead and tell you guys about some of these great boxing matches they got. Let me just pull them up here. Let me just pull them up here over here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay. So we got a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you're going to watch the fight, Rolly Romero shocks Ryan Garcia with the unanimous decision win. I would have had some more insight on that one here, but I'm doing the UFL press conference, and I'm actually going to be in a press conference, so I got to be prepared. Let's see. That was a stacked lineup, too. We'll just take a look here. Yeah, Canelo fight is tomorrow. Let me see here. But yes, Rolly Romero gets the unanimous decision win over Ryan Garcia. Yep. Yeah. So in Major League Baseball news, also, I would have to say with me going to the Rays game, that was awesome experience. I think George Steinbrenner Field is actually a very nice fit for the Rays for 2025. It's a really nice stadium. It makes it appear as if, well, the game that we went to on Wednesday night, they said was sold out at 10,046. And I think having the smaller ball field actually works well for the Rays because every game looks more full. Usually during the week, I remember, especially those Tuesday and Wednesday games, the Rays used to have maybe 3 to 4,000 people show up. You on a Wednesday night, you had over 10,000 people show up. So that's a vast improvement. That's more than double what you normally get. So I know people are like, hey, 10,000 people, but the Rays are getting 3 or 4,000, maybe mid four. That's a big improvement. So and that stadium is nice. It was nice weather. I like the fact that they made a lot of the games, not most of them, but yeah, most of the games it seemed like they're night games too. So you're not out there in the hot heat. Weather was beautiful when I went Wednesday night. Just perfect. Nice little breeze, not too hot, not too cold. It was fantastic. Really wasn't humid out there too. Yeah, they made a lot of the games on the night. There's a couple of afternoon games, but most of them are primarily night games. So they're on the road facing the Yankees, and when they come back, they'll get a day off on Monday, and then it's 3 days straight at home. All 7:05 starts against the Phillies. Yeah, it's 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Battlehawks have the ball, 3rd and 7. Let's see if they can get a third down conversion or not. Let's take a look. See what happens here. Pressure coming. Missed tackle. He gets it. He had him. If he would have made the tackle, he would have stopped him short of the first down. Being that he did not make the tackle, he got the first down. First down. He did it. It was a good run. He got about 7 yards. So the Battlehawks are driving here. If you're the Renegades, you cannot let them get a touchdown. You have to keep them to a field goal. Let's see what we got here. You got to keep them to a field goal. First down. That's first down. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, they call a timeout. Otherwise, we got to delay a game. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. Got about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 9-6, St. Louis. The Battlehawks are driving. If you're Arlington Renegades, you really don't want them to score a touchdown here. You have to stop them from getting a touchdown. Field goal, you'll give them. They're about 10 yards away from getting into field goal position. Nope. No, he stepped out. Let's see what they do here. Max Duggan. Max Duggan. Sorry, Max Duggan. It's a good run. Got about 8 yards there on that run. It's like a 3rd and 1. Yeah, so Battlehawks are driving. Like 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 1. Battlehawks. Let's see what they do. They're in field goal range. He didn't get it. Nope. He lost about 1.5 yards. About a yard. It's like about 4th and 2. 2.5, I would almost say. They're going to keep the offense on the field. 9-6. All right, they're going to try to go ahead and kick that field goal. It's about a 45-yarder, 47-yarder. 53-yard attempt. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. He made it. So it's 12-6. 12-6 with 6 minutes to go. Arlington Renegades got to do something, man. You got to do something. You got to do something here. You got to do something if you're Arlington. This is on you if you don't win this game, Arlington, because you can't expect to win a game in this league without scoring a touchdown. In fact, let me see here. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're the Arlington Renegades, you got a great shot. And if you don't do something, this is on you. This is on you. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So, let me just see here. Yeah, so got over 6 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. The Arlington Renegades don't do something in this drive, man. You could take that to the bank. So, let me see something here. Yeah. So, fourth quarter, 6 minutes, 13 seconds. It's 12-6 Battlehawks. Arlington Renegades are going to get the ball. They're going to kick them the ball. So let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. All right, they get the kickoff around the 5-yard line. – 28-yard line. Arlington Renegades coming on the field. The offense, that is. Yeah, that's a big game. Yeah. So, man, he's getting about 3 yards on the run. Let's see what they do. They're letting that clock tick. Second down and 4. It's another run. He gets a big run, about 20 yards. 16. It's a great run. Let's take a look here. It's a little over 5 minutes ago. See, they said the ball came out, but he's down. He got about 20 yards on that play. Let's see if they challenge this. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, wow. Fumble recovered by St. Louis. Let me see here. Nah, that ball's out. That's a fumble. It's a fumble recovery. He put that ball right on the hat. So it is a fumble. Battlehawks. There's nothing to challenge on that. That's a clear fumble. Why are you calling a timeout for? If you're Arlington, why are you calling a timeout? That's a fumble. Yeah, that's a fumble. Javonte Payton. He put that ball right on. He shoulder right on the football, and he dislodged it. It's a fumble. Wow. Let's see here. $11 penalties. He said it. 11 penalties for Arlington and three turnovers. That's the game right there. And you didn't score in the red zone. So, as of right now, they haven't scored in the red zone. They being the Arlington Renegades. It's a little 4 minutes, 20 something seconds. Yep. Little 4 minutes to go. Let's take a look here. Let's see here. 3rd down and 3. 3 minutes and 36 seconds. He knocked it down. So the Arlington Renegades are going to get the ball back. 4th down and 3. So the Arlington Renegades are going to have over 3 minutes to go. It's just giving opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. All right, so the Battlehawks are kicking the ball back to Arlington Renegades. They got it pretty much about almost the way they started before. I say they're closer to the 26-yard line. Offense of the Arlington Renegades coming back out again. Little under 3 minutes to go. 2 minutes, 53 seconds. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to close out the show? I already know who I think is going to close out the show. Let's see. I'm going to take here. We got a commercial break. We're going to just do. I'm going to take a little break here. We're going to get ready for the last couple minutes of the game and get everything ready for the press conference. But I'm going to take a little break here for you guys. In fact, let's go. right, we're back. All right, so it's still getting down to the 2-minute warning. Let's see what they do here. Arlington Renegades got a chance. They got a chance. Okay, commercial break is a 2-minute warning. Let's see what they do. Yeah, so we got 2-minute warning. Let's see what the Arlington Renegades. I'd have to say I'm not as confident with the Arlington Renegades. I'd be lying to you because it's been must see TV. I'm gonna give you the how the breakdown went for the fights tonight. I'll do that. Just put this up here. Boxing news. We give you that. So Rolly Romero defeats Ryan Garcia, unanimous decision. This is some spoiler alerts here. Devin Haney defeats Jose Ramirez, unanimous decision. Teofimo Lopez defeats Arnold Barboza Jr., unanimous decision, retains WBO and the ring super lightweight world titles. Rito Tatsumi defeats Lavelle Whittington, and that's a unanimous decision. And FDNY's James Gennari defeats NYPD's Joel Allen, unanimous decision. So that's a pretty good undercard there, I have to say. Props to the zone on that one. So, all right, so we're back here. The game's gonna restart. 12-6. 2-minute warning. Each the Arlington Renegades and the Battlehawks have a timeout. You got to get a touchdown if you're Arlington Renegades. You can't get a field goal here. Fumble, Raya. Chris Garrett recovers. That's 4 fumbles right there. Yeah, this is going to be a wrap. This is going to be an L for the Arlington Renegades. 4 fumbles, 4 turnovers. 2 of them on Luis Perez. 1 is a fumble. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 fumbles. 2 fumbles and a pick. Yeah, that's the game right there. 4 turnovers. 3 of them on my man, the Spring King, unfortunately. 2 fumbles and a pick. And the other... Yeah, Sailors gets the first down. This is a wrap. It's going to be a Battlehawks win. You still got a minute and like 30 seconds left in the game. But they just let Sailors just get the first down, basically. And they really needed to stop. That's going to be a wrap. It's going to be an L for the Arlington Renegades. Really, this game came down to turnovers. You had 2 fumbles and a pick on LP, and you had a fumble on JP. That's Javante Payton. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, that's gonna be a wrap. They already do the victory formation. 12-6. The story of this game is the turnovers. And another thing about this game, the Arlington Renegades were not able to score in the red zone. And that's a wrap. Yeah, they ain't ready for big time. Be careful what you wish for, folks. I asked Luis Perez about the dome, and he said he loved it. Well, the play was today at the dome. You could tell the communication was not there, and there was quite a few penalties, 11 penalties and 4 turnovers. That really is the game right there. And you didn't score in the red zone. How are you going to win? You going to win on field goals? Yeah, so that's a wrap. That's it. Game is going to be over. Final 12-6 Battlehawks. Let me get ready for this presser. That's whoops. Let me go. Uh-oh. One second here, guys. I'm gonna try to get into this. Get ready for the press conference here. One second. Let me just make sure I get this set up here. Give me one more, guys. Let me just get this thing set up here. Hold on one second. Audio. On. Oh. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna test this out. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh. Give me 1 second here. Okay, here we go. One. Okay, guys. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Let me just do something real quick here. All right. All right, so we're ready here. Your browser has blocked the screen. Okay, guys. We're gonna be going in the press conference here. It's gonna be Arlington first. Arlington first, folks. Let me just turn down the volume on this. Going right into the press conference. In fact, let me just. Yeah. Yep. Okay. It's going to be some good times here. We're going to bring you right into the press conference here. Arlington is probably going to be first. Let me just make sure. Okay, Arlington's going to be first. This is all access. Allen Alford Sports Talk Show giving you all access here. You're going to be brought into the press conference of the Arlington Renegades versus the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let me just see here. Getting. All right. Giving you all access here. Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. That's right. This is normal press conference time. We're going to give you all access. Let me see here. Okay. All right. All access here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Chuck Long. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look here. All access here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Make sure. Going to bring you right into the press conference. Appreciate the Arlington Renegades for providing this great platform. And I appreciate you guys for watching here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Appreciate the UFL, the Arlington Renegades. This is fantastic. All access. Let me just see here. Appreciate you guys. They should be starting real soon. Let's take a look here. Bringing you right into the press conference. Want to know about Chuck Long? We're going to ask about Chuck Long. We're going to ask about him. But to me, this game was really down. I'm giving you my. Oh, we're about to start.
That's not seen. Yeah, it's showing.
They're about to start, guys. I see Bob Stoops at the table. They're doing sound checks.
Oh, are we ready? Yeah. Is that unmuted? Hey, Alan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, roger that.
And Oscar's still on too. Okay, perfect.
Yes, I am. Yes, sorry, Coach, about the loss. And I'll kind of get into the question in a moment. Can you kind of assess how the game was on your point of view? Yeah, and when you do have a situation like this, Coach, where there is a lot of turnovers and things go that way, is there much you can tell to the team as far as preventing it from future games? Yes, and I wanted to get your opinion on what the fans have been kind of in my ear a lot about is Chuck Long as far as the offensive coordinator. What are you seeing from him and his play calling? Okay, good. And finally, Jaden Price, you mentioned it. You know, he did make some great plays out there. He just unfortunately that one play that he kind of got hurt on.
Really good game, made a lot of breakups, a lot of tackles. He played really well. And, you know, you live in that man-to-man world. Every now and then it's going to happen.
And finally, for the team, for the Renegades fans, can they still believe that this team could come back and get back to St. Louis and win the championship. Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
Take anything away from the fans, I'm sure it is to some degree, but we've had home games, we've had this many penalties, so it's just, it's unfortunate we can't get it corrected.
Luis Perez, kind of struggled tonight. He had a hard time under pressure, was not incredibly mobile as the pass rush got to him often. Were there any thoughts about sticking Holton Allard into the game, or was there any conversation that went on that end?
No.
Alford, you have any questions? Or anyone else have questions? So it's on there. Oh, chat. Oh, thank you. Oscar says, Coach, it was a heartbreaking loss, but beyond the results, does the team look close to the level that you want?
No, not really. The discipline of penalties is something, that I detest as a coach. And you put yourself behind the chains in a lot of those situations. They're hard to overcome. So, no, I don't feel we're where we need to be at all. And like I said, up to this game, we had been really good taking care of football. And for whatever reason, tonight, we weren't able to do that. And in Luis's defense, sometimes people put all the interceptions on him. One of our receivers ran the wrong route. And he wasn't where he's thrown the ball, expecting him to be a certain spot, and he wasn't. So, so that's uncharacteristic of what we've been doing.
Coach is still talking.
That gets back to, doing the right things, like not having penalties, running correct routes, take care of the football. Those are all pretty fundamental basics for winning.
Last question. You can go ahead, James.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the timeout that you took with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. What did you kind of see in that situation, and what was the reasoning behind the timeout?
Naturally, just to get him to have to snap the ball again, right? I had one. You don't get any bonus points for keeping it.
Great. Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah. Coach is a little testy, man. He's a little testy. They lost the game. I mean, he was fine with me, but he was a little short with some of the other questions. He was a little short. And unfortunately, Lewis you get a different Lewis when the team loses. So I'm hoping that this press conference goes well, but if history has told me something, Luis Perez is not the best and graceful of losers, unfortunately. I say it is what it is, but Luis Perez is going to be up next. Okay. Donald Payne and Luis Perez coming up. Okay.
Sorry, I should cut that.
Oh, you're okay. That's just the wrong.
Still, let me know.
It's okay.
Definitely good. So I think it is not so often played with
So what they said is Donald Payne is coming up, as well as Luis Perez. Donald Payne and Luis Perez are coming up. Let me just see something here. Okay, good. So Donald Payne, they've just said here, Donald Payne as well as Luis Perez coming up. That's who's up next. At least for Arlington, we're Arlington, okay, is coming up first, and then the Battlehawks. Yeah, so I know Donald Payne's gonna be cool. Donald Payne is my guy. It's buyer beware when it comes to Luis Perez when unfortunately the team loses. It's like a different Luis when you get him after a loss, and then use a different one you get him during the week. Here he comes now.
All right, guys. We just have Luis here. So, first question, Alan.
Sorry about the loss, Luis. And can you just kind of talk about this game and your overall assessment, and then I'll kind of get into some of the questions.
Yeah, the turnovers and penalties. I'll start with that. So, credit to St. Louis, you did a good job. Coach well. A good football team, but yeah, you just can't move this football team every day penalties and every turnovers.
And it did seem, as team wise, that it seemed to us watching the game that crowd noise was becoming an issue. Would you say that was an issue with the penalties?
That was part of it. Yeah, whether it was false start or whatever the penalty was, part of it did have that.
And as far as pressure is concerned, did you feel this game had more pressure than others, or it was kind of like the same? And the fans, I'll kind of ask you this question: is the fans are kind of hoping that this team can rally back and come back here to the Dome and win it? Do you feel confident they can still come back and win this championship? As far as coming back to the Dome and winning the whole championship, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I mean, as a team, we're trying to one game at a time. But yeah, it's cool to come back here. Maybe we come here again for a playoff or championship. But again, one game at a time. That's all we're focusing right now.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
If you have that many turnovers and penalties, you're just not going to win. And that's one thing we got to emphasize this week is, limit the penalties and turnovers and continue to move forward from there.
Okay, Luis has a question, or Oscar.
Luis also has a question for you, but he wants you to answer in Spanish.
What is the sensation after the game and the mindset for the week?
Yeah, necesito. Este es un momento, no muy bien ahorita, perdimos, como perdimos el último momento con el fondo al último.
Yeah, so
Pero
that actually went pretty well.
ahorita andamos,
I wasn't expecting it to go actually that well. It's just Luis, by the way. Donald Payne is not there. He's answering a question for Oscar in Spanish. So I'll take this moment to kind of.
Two more, James.
Louisa, you lost Kalen Balaj in the backfield kind of midway through that game. How did that impact the offense and just the overall production?
Yeah, we have to what they're doing when he's not playing, stuff too. Hope he's doing all right, but yeah, we have full confidence in the rest of the guys, but Kevin is really cool there.
What was kind of your evaluation of the offense and the struggles that you had tonight against the fierce St. Louis pass rush and just not being able to get into a rhythm?
Yeah, I think the rhythm started with, penalties, right? We got to go for downs, we had to change, we have to call out, whether it's turnover, whether it's miscommunication, whether it's not getting something, whatever the case may be, there was always something. We never get into a rhythm. But yeah, Grant says, the front, you do a really good job, the team, with that interior, guys really good too. So, great to those guys.
Last question? Anyone? Okay, cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Luis. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Luis Perez. They only had him up. And it's going to be the Battlehawks coming up now.
You're the visiting team all the time.
Yeah.
Next time, Ruby, give you my tape over and tape it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever.
I'm not gonna do the locker, I'm Brian, do the locker.
Yeah.
I can't go here and there at the same
The
time.
visiting team always goes first.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of those questions when I say coming back, basically if they make it and they win, they'll come back to St. Louis if they get to the championship game. So that's what I was referring to as far as coming back is concerned. But they still have a chance. They still have a chance. Let me just, while they're waiting, let me pull up the rest of the schedule. Yeah, tough loss. Let's see here. Please, if he can answer in Spanish. Okay, yep. Okay, so let's see here. They have against the Michigan Panthers next weekend. That will be Saturday. Michigan Panthers are not a divisional opponent, but you still don't want to lose. The DC Defenders are a divisional opponent. That game becomes really big. You have the Memphis Showboats, who is not a division opponent, and then you have the Brahmas, who are a divisional opponent. So they have 2 out of 4 games are divisional opponents. The season's not over yet. I did feel as if out of those 3 games they lost, tonight's game, the Birmingham Stallions, as well as the DC Defenders, this game I felt like wasn't really their game to win, so to speak. You had 4 turnovers, 11 penalties. You didn't score in the red zone. You really can't win many games that way. It's not a recipe for success. So the Birmingham Stallion game was a game they let slip. And I feel like definitely the DC Defenders is a game they let slip as well. This game, I don't feel like this game kind of slipped. I just felt like the sloppiness and the crowd noise and all of that contributed to you really not being in a position to win. And you didn't score in the red zone. And like coach said, they missed the field goal. You're not going to win a game like that. So you missed a field goal. You had 4 turnovers. You had 11 penalties. You're not going to win a game like that. You didn't score in the red zone. You missed a field goal. You had 4 turnovers. You know, that's not that's a recipe for disaster. So this game, out of the 3 that they lost, I felt like really kind of deserved to win. You know, this is being real. I mean, you know, 4 turnovers, 11 penalties, no score in the red zone, missed field goal. Man, please have permission to record. Yeah, so the Battlehawks are going to come up next. Let me just see here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's so this game got away from them. And
everybody wants to go to the Who's game. And the Cardinals game. One soldier.
All right, I see Coach Beck coming up now.
This one. But you watch, so I got to call you all Libby's fans. Rocco's out. I don't know what happened. We will begin with an opening statement from Coach, and then we will get the questions. I see we got some people on Zoom as well, so we'll take your questions in the room, and then we'll get to online.
Shout out to Coach Stoops and his staff and suppliers. That's kind of what divisional football looks like. And it's big coming up. It's staying with people sitting on the CST. Man, that was defensive gem. I mean, it really was. And, you know, that's a good team. We beat, you know, our back's been against the wall since we lost those 2 games. We're very resilient. We weighted it. And it really starts with our defense. It's an incredible performance. Donnie and his staff, and just all the guys. I mean, coming up in the clutch moments with you know, Q Cole getting that ball out of fumble. PETA, you know, I went up to him before that series and said, you know, this is where you guys get your shot in these moments. And he came out big, man. So these guys are great, man. They answered the bell today. We struggled on offense. Listen, obviously we had some issues, but I think what's really good is, you know, defense had to raise up and hold them down for us, and they did. Really proud of everybody. We can be a lot better, but it's nice to know that we can win a game when one side plays weak football tournaments.
Coach, talk a little about the two crunch time plays and punching that ball out with minute 15 left. I mean, he's just a killer in the fourth quarter, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, that's kind of where you make your money. Right? Yeah, really proud of him. You know, talk to him and feeling last struck. It had to help. I mean, you know, those are just critical times in the game where we have to shut a team down, and to get that pressure at the quarterback, force that fumble, sacks. So it's just a dominating last drive. So really proud of him. You know, high stress game, obviously. You know, when you play those tight ones, but you know, that's just, man, it was a fun performance to watch. That's for sure.
We did mention that sometimes sacks aren't good. Sometimes you got to go for that ball, but it's a perfect case tonight.
It was, you know, I just think that, you know, in those critical moments, you got to be smart, right? You got to make sure you get to the quarterback, you over rush him, You got to be able to make sure that if you go past, come back. So just really a whole game versus a dressing effort. And he's a big time player. He's a former XFL defensive player of the year. We were fortunate to get him last year, and he's still showing that he's got a lot of juice left. It's good to know because that's why we brought him back. If he didn't, he wouldn't be here. So just glad he's on our side.
Luis Perez mentioned that he expected some changes for you, but you guys still flummoxed what you did. What was your attack this time around, and how did you shut him down?
I think our defensive line played great. We had a couple new guys coming from say back dress this week, Boston down, but they played next. I know those guys may be a little disappointed that I didn't dress them, early in the season, but it's hard, man. I constantly think about players we don't dress because I really want to give them the opportunity they deserve. They work their tails off in practice.
Coaches
and I can see frustration.
answering questions now.
But they deserve to be dressed. They deserve to play. I'm glad they got the opportunity. You never wanted because of injury. But, giving them the ability to do that is great. I thought Donnie did a nice job, mixing up a lot of different things. I just felt like the quarterback was never quite in. We got some critical penalties, false starts, and things of that nature, which was crowd-driven, obviously. A lot of stuff going on in St. Louis. They win by the Blues, the Cardinals win. Really, maybe not, but either way, they were still out, whatever the number was. Those are critical moments. That's what's great about home field advantage. So we got to win them all here. Every game we play at St. Louis, we have to win. So again, everybody wants to see a winning product. So 3-4-2 right now. We're really happy where we stand. We had 9 days to fix everything else, which is great.
I've got a former tight end and son as a quarterback. Appreciate a defensive game.
And, listen, sometimes, listen, I think the defensive team, I think statistically they're the best defense in the league. Maybe not after today, but, listen, I think a couple things. We took way too many sacks today, and that's a collection of everything. Protection, quarterbacks, guys not getting with me. I thought we ran the ball effectively at times. We just, a lot of lost time for lost plays, and we kind of got in that muck a little bit early in the season, and we just changed. It's easier said than done, but our guys got to hunker down and really, maintain, and we got to be whatever we're doing, good stuff. We just got to be able to grind it out. And weather the storm. Today we weathered the storm, but there were times in that second quarter I thought we had really good on offense. Right before they have, wanted to be aggressive in that proven goal area. We went on QB sneak on the first down, but we had a really bad spot.
And taking the questions of people that's there.
I think it was on a 2.5, 3, or wherever it was, and it felt like, man, clearly that's not the best play to run, 2.5, 3 yards away. So I got pulled with my alley, and by the time we got up to the line of scrimmage, it was kind of where it wasn't. So, we got to find a way to get it in. We had 2 passes to our big man. We got a little bit of a lower pass. We tried to get that a little higher for the team, and then we came back on the other side on the plan. We called, just like that, practice ball to the ground, but there's a little bit more of a distraction there by the defender, and probably just ball track of football. But Rod's been spectacular. Our kicker is phenomenal. Enjoyed him now because he won't be with us next year. I know that. But just dude can count on him, man. That's huge. He is money. Seriously. He'll be the first guy taken out of this league. There's no question about it. If he's not, NFL's great. He's getting a lot of kickers on a week-to-week basis from the league last year. So I'm really proud of him. And there's other guys that are doing a really good job for it that are stepping up. Blake Jackson, his role's been a little bit more critical here, moving forward. There's more trust there. We had a really smart play on our trick play today instead of throwing, ran, got a couple of yards. But those things to me in the moment got to be smart, right? So, and Matt's going to get better every week. I just felt like today was just one of those days where anything we missed a deep cross, we're trying Darby. Again, we'll want that one back. But there are moments and opportunities where we could have done some things. But again, we just today was the defensive day, and they held the 4 thing up. We'll never be playing about he's not doing what. We just got to clean it up. We got to fix it. And look, we got plenty of time. We got coaches that work their tails off, offensive, defensive, and special teams, and know that we will get this right for our players. Our players got to be better too, and the opponents to execute on.
Coach, you talked about defense setting the tone. Is there anything want to get your thoughts on the TVs, in particular, Chris Beck Jones, his interception, how he plays today for you.
Yeah, I mean, Crafty had, was a huge favorite. I mean, these guys should have about 17 picks this year. Now, on the other thing, they matter. We got to give him a
Close door.
machine
Close door, please.
right now because that's a couple games in a row where he's got him right in the
Close the door,
basket.
Baron. Close the door. Close the door, please.
I'm trying to make the city man. I know we think about that, but all these guys work hard. They're in the right spot, and the moments are there. Critical moments are there for these guys to make plays. So, we just got to, third down. I thought the most part did a good job with that long third down. A critical mistake on special teams. When we got a penalty, holding penalty on that, we forced them to kick it, and we run into the kicker. I mean, we're getting off the field. That trying never even happens. In that moment, plus that third 17 conversion, and the challenge. The challenge that's, I got to be better at that. They had guys downfield, but we totally lost track of their back to actually catch the ball and he called it before line scrimmage, and that's what we need. I mean, we got to go through those things and have a better evaluation. We use those. I've been pretty good with it, but I was a little
Coach,
disappointed.
Beck is still answering.
We got a victory. Winners and wins are 4-2. Okay, that's what matters. All right, we're right where we want to be, and we got 90 days now to prepare for this on the road, and I'm excited about what this team can do getting better. Check's in here, bro.
Question, I need you to mark the box. All right, we've got James Larson from PFN. Go right ahead, James. You're on mute.
Coach, congrats on the win. Obviously a gritty one from top to bottom. I want to talk a little bit about the offensive line play. Wasn't perfectly clean tonight. We saw, missing Juwan Bichelle-Beatty. What can you say about, the group and kind of your evaluation of how they played tonight?
Well, I got to watch the film, obviously. It's a good defense. I mean, come on, listen, they're a desperate team coming off of a tough loss last week, and they felt like they gave one away, and even in that same boat. Of course, we protect better, be a little firmer in some of our runs, absolutely. These offensive linemen have done a lot of good things in the last 3 years. We had some new faces there, and that's okay. We got one guy's playing with one hand, and we have Riley Ashland there, his first start. So, we'll check it out. We'll get better. They want to be good. And nobody likes to put those kind of performances out there, but we'll just take a hard look at our offense. And like I said, we're watching all the film. We did rush for 113 yards and 4.3 per carry. There were some critical fronts there we had that were good. Just got to be a little bit better on early downs, James, and we can fix those things. We got a lot of talent. We just got to keep working through it.
Coach, last question's coming from Oscar of Claro Sports. He wanted to know what you thought the key moment of the game was in terms of the level of resiliency by the defense.
Yeah, that's a good question, Oscar. I mean, Bobby, it was gigantic. All the turnovers. Finishing the drive last series, and we just, again, we've been in those moments when we see teams driving the field and just steal. And, we even talked about that too also, but we kind of had opportunities to either take the lead, or get back in the game, or we had a field goal, and we didn't finish. So we found a way to finish today, and that's all that matters. So would have loved to go out there and score 30 points and always produce that, but man, the defense, they really only gave up 3 points today. Think about it, because we had that strip sack and they got the ball field goal range. I mean, they were going to bang it on 100% of the time. So that's what they have impressive. I mean, that's really good defensive play. And good for our offense. We did get that one score drive. It was a great job. We had to make it happen in the second quarter, and we scored a touchdown. And Keem obviously was a big time matchup problem. And I was glad we were able to get him the football. And he made a big play that moment. Thanks, guys. Good job.
Oh, I did have a question.
5 seconds.
Good thing.
Hey, you were right.
Is Gruden there? Is Gruden good at the game? Do we know that, or?
Not sure. Well, he said 26,000 on an iPhone.
Yeah. I thought the ground was great. They were loud.
All right. Well, you're good.
Everyone.
Look at the schedule. All right.
All right. Well, I didn't get a chance to ask. I didn't get a chance to ask my question there for Coach, but that's okay.
Thanks.
Appreciate this. Thank you. Yeah. I want to show you something real quick though, Chuck. Oh, you're good. Oh, thanks. There you go. So, thanks. Next time, just in case, I want to like monitor this a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Kevin asked for permission to
Okay.
record. That way you just kind of,
I'll stay around it.
yeah. Now, if the visiting team wants to like take it over, great. But for us, we'll just go ahead and
Cool.
you can just kind of like, you can be the Zoom moderator, so to speak. So, but all good.
All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to ask Coach a question. He went from there, and then he pretty much ended it there. That's okay. You know, yeah. So it's one that bites the dust there for the Arlington Renegades. I'll just put a button on that. They had 4 turnovers, 11 penalties, and no scores in the red zone. So that is pretty much the game right there. I would say they need to put this game behind them, and the next 4 games is going to be make or break because they are playing the DC Defenders and they are playing the Brahmas. Those are 2 divisional games, 2 non-divisional. But being now that they are a game behind, they're going to need a little bit of help. They being the Renegades, if you want to make it. So let's see. Let me just check real quick the schedule for oops, sorry about that. Let me just see here the schedule for the Battlehawks going forward. Okay, so the Battlehawks play the Showboats. Coming on a little bit. They play the Stallions, the Brahmas, and the DC Defenders. So the Showboats. So in a nutshell, this is how you can look at this. If you're the Renegades, the last 4 games that they're playing very similar teams except for one. The last 4 opponents are going to be the exact same as you, different order, of course, except for one. That one game being that the Renegades are playing Michigan next week, and let me just take a look here. The Battlehawks are playing the Showboats. So the other 3 matches are the same. They also have to play the Stallions, the Brahmas, and the DC Defenders. So 4 of the last 4 games are going to be very similar matchup except for one. And yeah. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me to the end. Let me just say a couple things and button up this show. I did want to go ahead and, of course, thank you guys. I want to thank all the comments, the likes, and appreciate you guys doing that. People have chimed in. I did want to thank that. I did want to also go ahead and thank too all the music that you heard here tonight was done by that man, Sam Scola Songs. Let me go ahead and give him some shine there. Sam Scola Songs. Let me pull him up here. There he is right there. Whoops, wrong one. Whoops, where is he? There you go. Here we go. Sam Scola Songs. All of those songs are available that you heard here tonight are available on YouTube and Spotify. Want to thank, songwriter Sam Scola Songs and his wife Mary. Appreciate them. Really appreciate all that they do for the Allen Alford Sports Talk show. Definitely, again, all those songs are available that you heard here tonight on YouTube and Spotify. And let me also pull up another picture. There he is right there, Sam Scola Songs. Thank you. Really appreciate Sam Scola Songs and his wife Mary. They're the ones who sang all the songs here tonight. Everyone is available on YouTube and Spotify. And if you want to reach out to Sam Scola Songs, this is not spam him. This is in order for you to give him an outstanding business opportunity with a deal, songwriting deal. He also does have now some comedy songs that he has releasing. Those you can check out on YouTube and Spotify as well, additional to what you heard here tonight. And if you want to give him an opportunity, it's singalongwithsam@gmail.com. Singalongwithsam@gmail.com. Definitely check out those new comedy songs that he has released on YouTube and Spotify. Singalongwithsam@gmail.com. No spam, deals. He's looking for a deal there. That's why we put it up there. And thank you, Sam Scola Songs. We're going to button up this show by thanking an outstanding sponsor, wonderful sponsor, and that is none other than the man, the myth, the legend. That is Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Really thank Chef G's for being an outstanding sponsor. And the great thing about Chef G's is that this great sauce here that you see here, all three, see that bourbon flavor? That bourbon flavor is made with Dunamis bourbon. Right there, it's delicious. All of them are delicious. Make sure you don't forget to get that great sauce at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, it's quite all right. Feel free to visit flbbqsauce.com, flbbqsauce.com. You can't go wrong with that great sauce. So without further ado, we're going to play another great Sam Scola song, the Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song. Let's go.
Comes in four varieties, Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce, a natural flavor. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce, Florida Gold Honey Mustard on burgers and ribs, tasty fusion on pork and sausage. Classic taste for chicken steak tips. A hot heat wave on meatballs and ham. It's a cookout treat. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce.
Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to visit Chef G's right there at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, it's okay. Feel free to visit him right there at flbbqsauce.com, flbbqsauce.com. Don't forget that great sauce. Really appreciate it. And thank you again, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, for being another one of our outstanding sponsors here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. We tremendously appreciate you. That is fantastic. And to wrap things up, want to thank you guys for watching another great episode of the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Thank you. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show right there on YouTube. Please follow us there on Facebook, Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. And you can visit our website. And the website is also AlanAlfordSportsTalkShow.com. AlanAlfordSportsTalkShow.com. Instagram, right there, Alan Alford _ and X, Alan Alford, AlanAlford. Let me go ahead and give you the website, and the website can pretty much take you everywhere you need to go. AlanAlfordSportsTalkShow.com, AlanAlfordSportsTalkShow.com. So thank you. Really appreciate you all. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching another great episode of the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Be blessed, be well, take care of yourself. Thank you again. And we're going to close the show out with the final Sam Scola song. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Thank you, UFL. Thank you, All Into Renegades. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
It's the end of the show. Let's thank all the fans before we go. It's the end of the show. The Allen Allen Sports Talk Radio Show. Thanking us. Thanking our sponsor. It's the end of the show. Tune in again for next week's show. It's the end of the show. Thanking our host before we go. It's the end of the show. It's the end of the show.